Mike, what was the appeal with Keon Broxton? What do you like about it?
Well, he became available when the Mets designated him a few days ago, and we had our eye on him. Speed, excellent center field ability. He's got some raw power. Hasn't gotten a lot of consistent playing time, certainly not this year, and even in the past year. But 2 years ago, put together a pretty good campaign for Milwaukee. So, we're trying some different things in center field, and we wanted to give him a look and hopefully give him maybe a little bit more extended time than he's had, and we'll just see how it plays out.
Guys end up this time of year on the waiver wire getting DFA'd pretty often. What's the process that you guys go through to identify who are the guys that you want to bring in versus not?
Anytime a player is waived or designated, we receive that communication via an internal system that Major League Baseball has, and our front office, kind of the point person for this process, has been Mike Snyder. Will alert us to anyone that looks like it might be a fit or might be interesting, and we hash it out. But you got to move pretty quickly because guys only can spend a couple of days on the waiver wire, and you have to assess your internal situation, and also sometimes the timing is awkward. So it's not an easy decision anytime.
Does it have to be what you guys view as a significant upgrade? Would you take a marginal upgrade over something you have? How does that?
I think it just depends on the situation and the needs, and what position, or if it's a pitcher or what. It just depends on the situation. But there are times when we feel somebody is a clear talent upgrade, and there are other times when we're looking for something in particular, and somebody becomes available. So it just depends on the case.
Mike, when you sent out a bunch of the top shelf prospects at the end of March, you were talking about how they needed to spend extended time in AAA. Do you feel that they still need to spend significantly more time in AAA before they come up here?
Well, I think it depends which players you're referring to in specific, but it's good to see some of the guys are doing really well down there. Cisco's doing really well down there. DJ Stewart is doing really well down there, and that's very much on our radar right now. In DJ Stewart's case, we have two corner outfielders up here with Mancini and Smith who are doing great. So it's just hard to find an easy way to get him here, but we would love to have him join this team, and I'm hopeful that we can figure out a way to do that on the Sooner side. And as I've said all along, Cisco is somebody that we're counting on, and we care a lot about, and we want to get him up here at the right time, and maybe that's soon too. We're just gonna have to navigate the next couple of days or weeks or whatever it is and see what happens.
Mike, the other guy doing really well down there is Ryan Mountcastle. Given his age and the fact that he's playing a new position this year, do you think his timetable would be a little longer than those other guys?
Yeah, I categorize Ryan a little differently. He hasn't played in the majors yet. He's extremely young for AAA. And really, he's probably at the stage in the Norfolk schedule where his opponents aren't seeing him for repeat time. He's not going through a league the second time yet. And he's got a lot of work to do defensively still, at third or even at first. And we might even start taking a look at him in the outfield when we get opportunities. So there's a lot more development for a guy like him. And we're erring very carefully on the side of his development, but it's pretty soon for him in AAA.
Mike, do you like to, or do you like your AAA people to communicate what you just said about the guys there? Hey, hang in there, your day is coming, sort of thing.
Yeah, being a AAA manager is not an easy job, and Gary Kendall does a good job talking to the players, and certainly when members of the front office or me personally later this summer after the draft, get a chance to get down there and visit, we will talk to those guys, especially the ones on the 40-man roster and the Major League radar screen, and make sure they're aware of where they stand as best we can.
Mike, could you tell some of the fans that look at the record and are obviously disappointed, but you probably are seeing the growth and potential?
Well, yeah, there have been good things this year so far with the Major League team play. The win-loss record is not one of those good things. Is what it is right now. We'd like to see it get better. We'd like to play at a little better win clip than this. But there are guys that are having good seasons. I'm not going to run down the list, but there's players playing well. There's young players taking steps forward. There are guys who are getting really their first extended taste of Major League play here that have come in from other organizations, waiver claims, what have you, that are possibly establishing themselves as Major League players. And it's good to see that here. We're trying to bring talent in from all the angles that we can, and if we're able to add a couple of guys and have them stick and be pieces here, I think that would make this year a huge success. But look, we got a big effort on our hands. This is the beginning of it. We all know what this looks like. Doesn't mean we're not going to push harder to get better, but it's where we're at right now.
How would you evaluate the job Brandon has done so far?
I think he's done an excellent job. It's a difficult circumstance with a young team. A lot of players coming in from all different directions, guys coming and going. A lot of guys that weren't really with us during spring training. And I know the players have received his message very well. He's done a great job looking out for the best interests of the players, not putting pitchers in uncomfortable positions, even though we're stretched thin at times and our guys have been throwing a lot of pitches and in some cases, getting beat up. So he's done a terrific job. I'm really happy that he's here.
Mike, with the prospects at AAA, you talked about position players. What about a pitcher like Keegan Aiken? First year there, he's only made 8 starts, but he's a college kid, so he's a little bit more mature. Do you have a similar timetable for pitchers that might earn their way here?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm excited about him, always have been, looking at what he's done so far in the minor leagues, looking at his stuff, looking at the reports we hear about him. One of those guys that we're extremely hopeful on and counting on to be a future rotation piece here. So we want to make sure that he has the proper footing to do that. And, I don't think a month and a half in AAA is the end of that story. So I just hope he keeps doing what he's doing. I know Chris Holt and the pitching coaches are liking the work that he's doing, but there's some things he can still work on to prepare himself for the majors.
Getting back to Mountcastle, one of the things that you also said in March is that when you want guys to come up and be able to stay up. Is the possible return of Mark Trumbo, does that impact Mountcastle and a space for him?
Just generally speaking, when you're a corner defender, if it's first base or left or right, it's just you're competing with more people for playing time because there's so many people that can go play those positions. Not everyone can catch or play short or play center. So anytime your defensive options are limited, you've got more. It's harder to break rosters. It's more competition when you're on a roster, and we see that right now. So there are a lot of people vying for those at bats with the Orioles and around baseball generally. So that's why with Ryan, we want to try to give him some different options and get him as skilled defensively as we can.
Do you feel like you've locked in on anybody with that number 1 overall pick with the draft being a couple weeks away, or are you still kind of viewing your options?
No, we haven't locked in, and nor will we until later. There's still. We don't have our scouts here yet, and there's still information coming in. We are, as a front office right now, up there working on organizing the draft and the draft board and our information, and we're going to be kind of doing that day and night between now and the draft. But until we get all of our scouts in one room, until we've had the conversations we need to have, the phone calls that happen, all the intel comes in, we won't make a decision on that pick.
Obviously have some familiarity in this position with the draft. Is this different in any way this time around?
In terms of the process, or
just being general manager, is there anything different?
Oh yeah, it's a little different for me in that obviously I'm spending a great deal of my time preparing for the draft, just being new to the organization, and wanting to install the processes that we want to have installed, and also wanting to personally evaluate some of the players, especially for the number 1 pick. But we have so much else going on around the organization. There's just the day-to-day roster management responsibilities that can take up a lot of your time as a general manager, but we've also got big initiatives going on internationally, getting our international scouting and player development up. On the player development front, we're doing things. We're building analytical tools. So yeah, it's been a definitely more of a time management challenge than just focusing on the draft as a scouting director.
Mike, relative to the position of having that first overall pick and having gone through it before with another organization, the responsibility, the pressure, if you will, of what's all in store here.
Yeah, it's hard to understate it. It's a huge opportunity. Anytime you're picking high in the draft, not just the number 1 pick, but high in the draft, top 10 pick, you've got a pretty good shot of really getting a franchise cornerstone, but it's not a 100% shot by any stretch of the imagination. It's probably more like 50-50 if you look at the historical records of it. So you feel a lot of pressure And there's big upside to the opportunity, but it's not easy to, nobody has a crystal ball, and it's just not easy to nail. So we just do as much work as we can going into it, and do what we think is right.
Mike, can you provide a little bit of an update on the international scouting stuff that you guys have been doing? Some people have been saying that they're seeing more Orioles scouts at international events than they've ever seen before.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I mean, this was not a particularly active organization in that front. I think we had kind of a minimal operation that would sign players well after the July 2nd signing date, kind of lower dollar, older players relative to most international signings. And now we are pushing out as a full-fledged international scouting operation, and that could take some time. And as I've discussed, the way the market works down there, some of the behind-the-scenes advanced work that goes on has been done for 2 years now or more. So we don't have a full slate of players available to us. But that said, July 2nd's coming up. The international signing period will open, and it will be the largest international signing period, July 2nd, that the Orioles have ever had. So, we're doing a lot of work. Kobe Perez and I and his group that's growing, are doing a lot of work down there right now, and it's only going to increase.
So what you're saying is that you guys will be able to be active this year?
Yeah, I think on July 2nd, and shortly thereafter, we're going to be announcing a lot of signings.
Mike, are the top names spoken for? Do you have a chance for some of the top players, you feel?
There are players that will be significant dollar investments that we really like. Do I anticipate us, having one of the top 7 or top 10 signing bonuses on July 2nd? No, but that's the kind of thing that takes a little more advanced work than either Kobe or I had in coming in here. But it's long term, that's not a concern for us, and we're going to be, fully operational going forward.
Thank you.
Thanks.